Yeah, I'd love to be in the documentary. The whole neural network, artificial intelligence stuff sounds really cool. Is the robot going to read out the poetry as well or just compose it? That sounds like the apocalypse. It's like humans make something and then it spins out of control. Have you heard of the golem? It's like this monster that looks and moves like a human, but it doesn't have its own voice. And then the humans kill it with words because I guess they were scared that it would destroy the universe. Yeah, they said, you were created by the sages. Return to your dust.
Sorry, back to the subject. I think it's bloody brilliant.
So, what are we listening to now?
You tell me. The Lander one. It's much louder. Hold on. When I was comparing it to the human master that we got, I could find sort of pros and cons with both, as if we got it back from two different mastering engineers. I think because it's more affordable, that's the most revolutionary thing about it. It means that whether or not it adds anything to the art form of mastering, it makes it more available for people. Could a robot do a guitar solo?
Can a robot do a guitar solo?
I'm asking you.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
Very good one.
So far, all I've seen are interesting experiments. Yeah. It is interesting. I don't reckon that something composers and songwriters will be being replaced by robots. But then again, yeah, I've seen no evidence for a computer writing convincing lyrics. But then again, within the context of this afternoon, I wouldn't be surprised if you showed me some YouTube video about a robot writing a poem, and yeah.
We basically started with a large amount of text, about 40,000 characters, and popped them into a computer or a coding system to see if it could iterate poetry based on just some kind of trigger. So putting a number in or clicking or putting a seed word in. And the reason that we're doing that is just to see if a robot or a computer program, artificial intelligence, can generate some kind of poetry that makes sense, or if it doesn't make sense, what kind of interesting things about language and iteration can we see from that. Rest the street of 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 the street. The street, the street, the street of the street of the street of the street of the street and the street of the street and the street of the street of the street and of the street 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 of the.
Shall I start recording here?
Yeah, thank you. That'd be good.
Okay, I think it's. So I sort of got there by accident. Okay, yeah. So what it does is it extracts something like the content or like the general scenery and the objects of one image. It extracts that from one image, and it extracts something like the texture or general appearance from another image, and then it generates a new image that displays the content of one image in the style or in the general appearance of the other image. So there was someone generated the Mona Lisa in the style of Kandinsky. This guy Kyle MacDonald, who is like a digital artist, and he turned like a short snippet from a porn movie into or changed it with Picasso style. And it's super. So you don't see much of the porn anymore. So you see like the general movement, and there are all those cubistic shapes, and it's a very interesting effect because it really changes the image in a sense that what you perceive is really something different, even though it's the same image in a sense.
I believe it's a software where you feed in 2 images, and it looks like what it's done is taken the picture of my sculptures actually, and combined it with the photograph of Amelia Ullman, and it's come out as a very sort of poor watercolor. But I think she's taking a picture of herself in that photograph. Maybe it's just really hard to combine 2 pieces of work which have such different souls. Maybe that's what it is, because it doesn't really work.
You put them together on the phone, you can send them out immediately. They look interesting, but I don't consider them as a work really. And there's a lot of people in the art world that are really successful because they create beautiful things, but they don't really have an attitude towards the work, and that's a bit problematic, I think. Here it's also about this selfie thing, because it's considered the worst in intellectual society. You have immediate feedback and you have written feedback also on works. And here, so see this? But this actually, it becomes like much more crazy. So yeah, I mean, it looks really like in a church, right? The church windows. But the thing is also that it's something low culture that you put together and you make it look like high culture. So yeah, and in that sense, I would say that the consuming of art has become more democratic in terms of, we have to be careful of people using the internet. Nadia Oman.
Yeah.
Oman. I think I've heard of her. I think we all grow up in the same world, like artists or non-artists. We all grow up with the same visual infiltration by media. My eyes get exposed to the same computer screens like everybody else's eyes. It does something to your perception.
It's a sort of extent of democracy where everybody has the same images available to them. People are able to see the connections between things, because any one thing that you're looking for, it can be anything, any topic, you can see the connections that go with it, because Google does that for you.
You know, just by finding interesting combinations of content and style, generate something new and something very exciting. Yeah, I think that is sort of in the direction of giving them a tool to, become a digital artist.
I made graffiti for many years, and at the same time I also was actively working as a programmer, working on generative art, and graffiti is an art form where style is a bit of an obsession. So the idea was that actually when you're sketching graffiti, many times it's a very automatic process. It's maybe very suitable to being simulated algorithmically. So I started exploring it, and eventually it became like my full-time obsession. In my view, a truly creative system would be self-aware. So we're far from self-awareness in machines, so I guess we're also far from real creativity.
Basically, looking at the computer and the way it comes up with words and just spits them out allowed me to find a different way to express something that I tried to express in all the stuff that I write. And actually the weirdly iterative nature of the way the computer creates was really useful to touch on that topic.
It's a tool, so like people get creative with tools, and you might do new things that wouldn't be possible without a machine, but if you had like sticks and a hammer, you might get creative with that. So every tool leads to creativity, I think.
In my day, things are much more difficult. Is that really?
I mean, this is this nostalgia, and it's always kicking in when people see a new technology coming.
I don't think I think of it as a good or a bad thing, really. Like, occasionally I feel it both ways. It's just something that's happening in in the world, which is impacting on everything, including art. And we'll see what happens. That's all we can do. That's how I don't know. I'm flummoxed.